he's in for a tough night because, MMA and jiu-jitsu is very different. People think it's similar, like a jiu-jitsu guy can hop in an MMA fight, but it's very different. And I plan to review that on fight night. I actually didn't even know that like Tye Ruotolo was already getting into the MMA space. I was more so focused on Cade. Tye Ruotolo wants to fight Adrian Lee, and I was like, what? Later on, they're like, send me the contract and everything. I was like, okay. I think this is a very bad idea on his end, but it's a good fight for me. When it comes to fight day, you'll really see who put in more work. And I think just one thing that you can't cheat is the time on the mats, because even though we've both been training since we were kids, I've been training MMA my entire life, and he's been training jiu-jitsu his whole life, but it's very different trying to go in 3 years MMA experience and hopping straight into the pro league. I plan on taking all my resources and taking full advantage of it. Because, they look at me like he's been trained since he was a kid. And, a lot of them, you don't see these guys make it all the way to the top, these young prodigies. But nope. I plan on making full use of my resources to become one of the best to ever do it.
All right, what's up? It's Beyond the Roll podcast. We got a great one today. Today we got one championship fighter, Adrian, the Phenom Lee, representing Hawaii. We're going to talk about his up-and-coming fight with Tye Ruotolo. And, yeah, man, we're super excited for you to be here. Thank you so much. I'm also here, of course, with Zoe. So, yeah, man, how's it going, Adrian? Thanks for joining us today, man.
Yeah, it's going great. Really appreciate you guys reaching out. Happy to be on here.
Show.
How many podcast interviews have you done so far? I know you're 18 years old.
Just for this fight or like in total?
Oh no, just in general so far.
Well, I don't know about podcast interview for podcast interviews, but
yeah,
I've done a whole bunch of interviews leading up to like all my fights and even in like my youth.
Mm-hmm. And for this one recently, have you done quite a few already?
No, I've only done like 1 or 2 interviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of surprised just because how big of a fight that's been announced. Once I realized that a few weeks ago, I think it was been like a week or so, or 2 weeks ago it was announced.
Yeah,
a little bit longer.
2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
I was just super excited for that. Once you received that or received the news that it was Tye Ruotolo who called you out, how did you react to it? Just because, that's a tough first fight for him, someone like you, high-paced, also very experienced with grappling. I saw you have your state champion in your junior year of high school. Jiu-jitsu, you've been fighting your whole life since you were 3 years old. So how was it reacting to the news that he called you out?
Yeah, it was actually like one day I was just on my phone and it was like, Tye Ruotolo wants to fight Adrian Lee. And I was like, what?
What?
Really?
Yeah.
and later on, they're like, send me the contract and everything. I was like, okay. I think this is a very bad idea on his end, but it's a good fight for me. I was like, I was pretty confused on why he'd want to call me out first, especially on his debut. But hey, it is what it is. I'm excited to get in there.
Yeah, and I noticed that there was like a post-fight interview. I think when you're out there in Japan, they were talking about Cade Ruotolo. You're talking about potential matchups with him, but that's as close as a fight you're gonna get with Cade Ruotolo fighting his identical twin. I just wanted to just talk about kind of the whole fight, just because we want to build it up. We want to make sure people tune in to this fight, just because both of you guys have been training since you guys were like babies, pretty much, both of you guys. So it's like it's crazy to see such a high level fight at this young of age for both of you guys. So just wanted to get just wanted to talk about the training going towards this fight. Like, how has it been?
Yeah, leading up to this camp, me and my whole camp have definitely thoroughly prepared. Flew down a bunch of really good jiu-jitsu guys, and we've had, it's been coming up on like our 4th week in camp already, so it'll be 9-10 week 8 camp. And I really think he's in for a tough night because MMA and jiu-jitsu is very different. People think it's similar, like a jiu-jitsu guy can hop in an MMA fight, but it's very different. And I plan to review that on fight night.
Wow. How would you say it's oh, go ahead, Kwang.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, when you heard about the fight, like, have you already been watching Tye Ruotolo? Like, have you been watching a lot of his grappling? Do you kind of know what he's good at? Like, um, were you preparing for that or trying to match his style at all?
Yeah, I was even before this, I have watched like Ty and Kate's matches, especially because they're, big names up and coming. I
Yep.
actually didn't even know that like Tye Ruotolo was already getting into the MMA space. I was more so focused on Cade, watching his
Mm,
matches, both of their matches at CJI. And
Mm-hmm.
nice.
yeah, I was surprised when he called me out, but it's a good fight.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised too.
Speaking of like the difference between jujitsu, say like in a nogi CGI type of format, what is the main difference in a fight? Are you able to set things up? Because me and Kwame, we do train jujitsu. We train in the gi. We're blue belts, so we've been training for a few years.
Yeah.
Completely different for you guys. But how would you say it's different if you were to kind of explain to someone who really hasn't dove into like the MMA realm with it?
I'd say there's a whole bunch of areas that it's very different. There's so much more to think about when it comes to MMA as compared to grappling because you can get hit in so many positions. You can't scoop under a leg or else you're gonna get an elbow dropped on you. You're gonna get a knee dropped on you. There's so much, and it's such a different level of stress too because it's different level of stress and a different level of cardio because you're going up and down. You're striking after you have a big scramble. You got to get back to fighting each other.
Yeah.
So it's a very different game.
For sure, and it's his debut. We've seen Cade a couple of his fights. I believe all of his fights were in submission victories as well as yours.
Yeah.
Maybe I could be mistaken, but um, that's kind of what I've seen. All your wins have been by submission, perfectly set up. I love your takedowns. Your takedowns are so smooth and efficient. I was just watching them right now. I'm like, man, this guy's super high pace, and you just have like a way of just smoothly transitioning from one different style to the next. And I feel like at your age, really don't see that too often. I was thinking like, man, this guy fights like Pantoja. I get like Pantoja vibes from watching you fight. So I'm excited to see what Ty has in store. I know his brother's been striking more often. Seen some clips online on Instagram and stuff. Hitting some pads, but I really haven't seen too much train on his end.
Mhm. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, for sure, he's definitely probably training real hard right now, but hasn't been as much social media hasn't come out on him. He's been kind of keeping it on the down low. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to fight day, you'll really see who put in more work. And I think just one thing that you can't cheat is the time on the mats because even though we've both been training since we were kids, I've been training MMA my entire life, and he's been training jiu-jitsu his whole life, but it's very different trying to go in 3 years MMA experience and hopping straight into the pro league.
For sure, for sure. So, like, did you train at all in the gi, or just strictly MMA kind of grappling training?
As I was growing up, I basically trained all of like the martial arts. I mean, I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. One states is wrestling. I kind of did it all, but our gym was always an MMA focused gym. So even when we did jiu-jitsu or grappling
Hmm.
classes, it was always MMA focused. Like we're not gonna play bottom or guard pull or anything.
Mm.
Yeah, straight up. Wow. And I noticed you're a big gamer as well, or at least you used to be. Like you play a lot of Fortnite.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
qualified for the World Cup back in the day. Do you feel like that there's like a correlation between kind of the fight game and like video games? Like, is there anything like
Um,
similar to it?
I mean, I definitely say, big part of it is that competitive aspect. I remember when I was really heavy on games. I was like at the same time when I went to nationals for the youth pancreation nationals, and I couldn't go to that World Cup because I had to go to the pancreation nationals
Yeah.
at the same time. But yeah, I definitely say there's a lot of similarities on the competitive aspect.
Hmm. Yeah, man, that's a tough decision. Do I go to the World Cup? Do I fight pancreation? Honestly, dude, because making the World
That's
Cup,
tough.
I actually hit up my brother. I'm like, hey, man, how hard is it to actually make it to the World Cup? He's like, it's pretty difficult to do. So I'm sure
Wow.
there was a lot of games played for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna
oh,
say, sorry, yeah, I was gonna say like you were talking about Adrian, just a jujitsu guy training 20 years in jujitsu, then they like, oh, I want to do MMA, and then they just try to get their hands, like the striking in like a year or two, and you see them going to the UFC, and it's just a failure. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to put Crone Gracie on blast, but we've seen Crone, try to transition to, MMA. And, we've seen him like try to, like you said, try to pull guard in an MMA fight. And, that doesn't really work. You can get beat up inside someone's guard. So is, going into this fight with Tye, do you think you would want to keep it standing more? I mean, you got your submissions, but would you be okay? Like, hey, I can keep it standing with this guy and really put it on him. Like, how you feel about that?
To be honest, leading into this fight, I feel like I've fixed all the holes in my games, and I feel like I'm ready for whatever Tye is willing to bring to me. I'm willing to knock him out on his feet or take him out in the ground. I mean, people are underestimating my jiu-jitsu just because I'm not on these big, grappling tournaments, but
True.
I'm confident in myself that I could submit him as well.
Wow.
And you used to do like some like Naga tournaments as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done any like mainland tournaments, but Nagas would come to Hawaii like twice a year, every year. And I've been competing in that since I was like 4. So like every year I'm still competing in these grappling tournaments, the local scene, and then more so when on my youth pancration and nationals, that's when I went mainland and stuff.
Right. Okay. In preparation for those competitions when you were younger, how did you deal with the pressure of a match, or say something you really trained for? It means a lot to you. I know the last fight you had in Japan, you talked about all the pressure you put on yourself, and how relieved you were after you got the win. How over the years, how has your preparation changed with the mindset and getting ready for a match?
Yeah, honestly, probably all the way up until my second or third fight inside one championship, the nerves were real rough. Like it's something that probably everyone goes through, but for me, I always put a whole bunch of pressure on myself, especially since I got like such accomplished siblings. There's so much to live up to. I always felt the need to put that pressure on myself to perform and to kind of not outshine them, but to reach the same level that they're at. But coming up into this next fight and the past 2 fights, I really feel like I've gained a sense of confidence. I trust my skills, and I know that all the work I put through is gonna be shown on display.
Just you've been, competing since you're 5, 6, 7. We heard your first fight when you were 4. So just like, does it even get easier, or is it always gonna be there and just kind of have to push through it?
I'd say that it'll get easier and it'll get harder. Throughout every match, the next fight is a tougher guy. You have another belt fight under your belt, but the next guy is even better. And then the next fight, you're fighting for the title, and that's even more pressure. So there's going to be more and less, more pressure on some fights, less on others, but it's always going to be there.
Nice.
I was going to say, when you're getting these fights, and I watch a lot of UFC, and sometimes I feel like you can get 2 or 3 fights, and then next thing you know, they're like, oh, we're gonna get you against, we're gonna give you a title shot or something like that. Does your brother help you choose like your fights coming up and give you like some like tips on like what fights to take, how fast to build yourself up? Because you are very young and you have a long career ahead of you.
Yeah, definitely matchmaking, that's a big part of, the fight game as well. For me personally, I'm not too involved in it, especially since my brother, who's my manager, and my dad, they're usually the ones that, go with the matchmaking. And for me, it's like, I'll fight whoever, I'll take whoever's next.
Nice. That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
I like the confidence, man. I like the way you're talking. That's
for sure.
That's some championship mentality right there, man.
It is. I was watching.
You don't hear that a lot.
No, you don't.
That's good.
I was watching one of your last fights against I think Mamarella was his name, but you're super excited, you're pumped up, you're super exhausted, you got the rear naked choke, your brother's hyping you up, and then it pans over to your dad, and your dad's just like stone faced. He's like, I don't know, something about it is just super. It was just like, yep, like he's like expecting
that Kobe mentality.
Yeah, it is, bro. It is that Kobe mentality. I was just like, damn, bro, like that's your like, bro, like I don't even know the percentages of like families that have a lineage like your family is, and it's just like it's crazy to see, especially how young you are. It's like you have so much ahead of you, man. Like your nickname's the Phenom, so I was kind of wondering what that word means to you, Phenom, like the nickname.
The nickname, proud of me. My sister gave me that nickname, and it's just like, I feel like I truly plan to embody that. You know, I'm young, I'm
For sure.
hungry, and you know, I plan on taking all my resources and taking full advantage of it. You know, because you know they look at me like he's been trained since he was a kid, and you know, a lot of them you don't see these guys make it all the way to the top. These young prodigies, but
Nope.
I plan on making full use of my resources to become one of the best to ever do it.
For sure. I mean, your brother champion. I saw on your YouTube channel that you watch a lot of anime. I'm a big fan of Ippo. I know you watch some
Oh,
Ippo
yeah,
here and
yeah.
there. So
Nice.
I was wondering if your brother had kind of like that Takamura relationship with you in sparring that we see on the show. Would you say
Yeah,
so?
yeah, you know, for sure. My older brother, he's like he's the best coach brother I could ever wish for. You know, he's always the one that's pushing me or like pulling me back when I'm going too far, and he's always been in my corner. And you know, I couldn't do this whole fight game without him.
That's crazy, man. Like it's honestly like surreal, just like hearing your story, your family, and it's just you know, sometimes I'm like, right now, even when we're talking, I'm like, damn, like we have the opportunity to talk to someone who's putting it on the line. And respect to you, bro. Like, you know, me and Kwame will go to these tournaments. We'll go like we'll compete, and we think we're doing like something, putting ourselves like, you know,
Yeah,
out
yeah.
in the battlefield and stuff. But just like talking to you, it's that's a whole nother level, like in the best way, bro.
Yeah,
That's
thank
sick.
you.
Yep.
And that's how I was talking to Lonzo on one of the big cards, and I saw that the whole tribute, you know, about your family, and that's kind of like where I was drawn to you. And then he told me like, hey, I got Adrian Lee, and I was like, wait a minute, and I was like putting all the pieces together. I was like, no way, it's freaking awesome. Like your whole family is cool, dude. Like I wish that's kind of like how I wish I grew up into like some martial arts family, just being able to train and just be a warrior mentality.
It's like the
And
Ninja Turtles, bro.
yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got Master Splinter, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
it's really awesome, man. There's not, like Lonzo said, there ain't many families like that. So it's like, I think about like the Gracies or something, or,
Mhm.
you know, it's pretty dope, man. I think it's a great story, and excited for this fight, man. I mean, I feel like the more we talk about it, I feel like we can draw some people in, though. Yo, we got to watch this fight, man. I'm excited.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm definitely really excited for this one because you know, for me, I look at it as like an early on legacy fight. You know, for me, it's a big name, and once I beat Ty, you know, I take all his momentum and then you
Yeah.
know build off of that.
For sure. And what made you want to start posting on YouTube? That's honestly how I was introduced to you. Was through your YouTube. I saw your vlog. I personally post
Nice.
like YouTube videos about like jujitsu, and I'm like, oh, saw this. Saw you eating a couple bean burritos. I'm like, what's up with this guy? This guy trained MMA, and then learn more about your story. It's like, what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, you know, honestly, like for me, I was like my first like year with one championship. I didn't really post much on social media, and like I was kind of just like, you know, let it take its course. But starting this year, I was really like, I can build a brand for myself, and like
Yes.
I have the time and the resources to do it. So like, why not? So like this year, I really started getting down on my social media, posting, making YouTube videos, and you know, it's fun for me. You know, I just get to go through my everyday and just kind of share my story with other people.
It's sick, man. I don't know. Is that merch up for sale? The Phenom rash guard and shorts.
Yeah, you know, so that was like a semi fail. Like I still like I have like we had some shirts made, but
Yeah.
like soon after that, this big brand mentality reached out to me, and we're gonna do a collab together. So it
Oh,
was kind of
sick.
like that clothing brand will kind of be on hold, and also people were
Mm.
like, "Yo, it looks like a swastika." So I like, okay, so
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
that'll do it.
let's change the logo. I got a new logo, and then mentality reached out to me. I was like, I'm just gonna shelf this for now. So
Okay.
I'll
Well,
come back to it.
whenever it is like, you know, done and, you know, new designs, we'll definitely support, man. Definitely
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Hey, but building the brand early, like you're doing, is
It's huge.
key to success, because we see it where they're gonna be like very good fighters, but they got no real personality. They can't build a fight, and they kind of die out. But then you see a guy like Death Sentence, you know what I mean? This guy has zero MMA skills, but he's got the aura, he's
Yeah.
got the star power, he has potential, you know, to make money. So I think, you know, he's built a great brand. His skills not so good, but So that's cool. I don't know if you saw his last fight. We like to watch him. It's hilarious, entertaining. Got Mighty training him. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I seen that. I definitely think your brand and nowadays it's so different because your brand is such a big part of the fight game. Because if people don't know you, they don't want to watch you fight. So it's like even if you could be like the best fighter ever, and like there's also exceptions too. Like there's like some guys that are just so good, and that's what like gains their popularity. But then there's some guys that like just build it by themselves by having their personality. So
yeah, man.
For sure.
So you're leaning. Sorry. So you're leaning. I was watching one of your interviews. You're leaning more towards like, kind of like the good guy, true martial artist. Hey, I'm ready. I trained, rather than like, yo, you can catch this fade outside. You can bring it outside. Like, you're not that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you ran into Tye, and Tye was like, "You ain't do nothing, motherfucker," like, he starts cussing at you. Like, what's your move there? Like, what would you do?
honestly, I probably wouldn't even say anything. I'd be like,
okay,
I'd rather get paid to fight you than fight you right now. And it's like, for me, I've never really been like, I'm horrible at like trash talking. And it's just not my thing. I'd rather just, I'm me, and then I'm gonna go fight. I'm gonna knock this guy out. And it's like, I don't.
That sounds like pretty good trash talk to me, bro. Like, even just watching some of the stuff that you said in the interview, saying this is my territory when it comes to MMA. Like, I think the trash talk's even better if there's like more truth to it. Just like,
I think you should have. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you should just have like like he's saying, like, you should just have those quotes, man. Like, you have like come out with some like philosophical quotes, like 3 or 4 liners, like, "This is the ocean, I'm the shark," or just say something like that, dude. Like, that would be cold, because that's the kind of stuff I like, that makes people think like, whoa, like, just, that's it. That's all you need. A couple quotes, bro. And then we got it. Okay, we'll try to find something for you, man.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, you're a gamer, bro. So I mean, maybe it comes out of you. I'm sure. I was kind of thinking about like the dialogue that happens in a fight. Like, are you able to even think in there, or is it all just reactions? Because it just feels like it's so high paced. Everything's going just heavy breathing. You're up and you're down. It's like, are you even able to think? Is it just autopilot?
No, yeah. To be honest, with the fight game inside of the ring, there's not much thoughts going on. Maybe during the water break or like certain times of the fights, but most of the time the game is so high paced. You take 1 second to think about something, you could get knocked out. So like when you're inside the ring, it's just you're kind of going on pure instincts. All the training that you've been doing, that's what builds that instinct.
I was always curious. I always wanted to ask a fighter, like, hey, what is it like walking out there? What is it like, hearing your name, hearing the crowd? Those are the things that I'm always curious about, just because there's not a lot of people like you who are willing to do that. And that comes with the pressure, that comes with all that. But like 99% of the people on this planet are not willing to do that, No. So it's just it's crazy to be able to even ask you that, because it's like not a lot of people can answer that question with honesty and like that. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think can you explain the energy you get, like, walking into the cage, like what it feels like, stemming off what Lonzo said? Like, what do you feel, man?
Yeah, once when I'm in the back room waiting for those curtains to open, and when they're playing my song, announcing my name, for me, I'm very different. Well, I'm not very different, but I'm not like the fighters that you'll see like taking it in, high-fiving everybody. For me, when I'm getting ready, I got one thing on my mind. It's how I'm gonna take them out and what I'm gonna do, what the steps I gotta take to take them out. And when I'm walking down the ramp, I don't see anybody but Tye, or I don't see anybody. Like, I'm not looking at anything. Like, I'm not absorbing in the crowd. It's loud. I mean, maybe only after my fight when I really take it down. Really look around, see the entire crowd, and really take it in.
I was gonna say, like, before the fight, do you have any like rituals that you do, and anything special? Pray before the fight? Are you religious, or?
No, I mean, for me, I'm not religious, but before the fight, not too many rituals. It's just kind of like, breathing,
Warm up.
going through the game plan, warming up, and just clearing my mind. For me, I don't think about the fight really much. I
Really?
just kind of get in there and do what I got to do, because if you think about it too much, thoughts pile up. The
Mhm.
stress comes in, the pressure comes in. So
Mhm.
it's best to just keep a clear mind.
For
And
sure.
another thing I was gonna tell you, like, you know, me and Lonzo, we're deep into like the philosophical, martial artists. We talk about John Danaher. We talk about Bruce Lee a lot. Bruce Lee's sister. Rereading the books. Hickson. Um, does your dad or does your brother ever get deep like that with you and just like really get deep into like martial arts or like that philosophical route?
Um, I don't know so much about the philosophical route, but I've definitely had those really deep talks with my brother and my dad. Talking about the mental side.
Yeah.
What to do, what not to do. What to think about, what not to think about. And it's like I've had like half an hour long talks with them just like that.
Nice.
But not, I don't
That's
know if they are philosophical, but I've had
Maybe
those
they
talks.
are.
Yeah, they
Maybe
could be.
you'll
Could be.
maybe later in life you'll be like, dang, like, that warrior mentality. I mean, because it takes, like Lonzo said, it takes a certain someone to go into that cage. And I've been to a UFC live event, and it's like, it's amazing, dude. Like the intensity, and I even not even being in the cage, I'm like, wow, like this is something else, man. I think it's
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
I've seen from your videos that you're really big on recovery, cold plunge, hot tub, other things that you've been doing. What do you feel like has been like a serious game changer when it comes to recovery, where you can actually feel a difference? Because we're trying a bunch of stuff. We wake up sore. Me and Kwame are like, damn, how do these fighters do it? Like we try to train as much as we can, waking up with a kink in our neck, and just like, man, how do these guys get through it? Like, has there been anything that's like helped you a lot so far that not a lot of people know about?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, a lot of people know about it, but just
Mm.
not a lot of people are willing to do it. But
Ah,
ice baths are something that I will swear by.
Mm.
I discovered them like my first professional MMA fight, where like my dad got a cold plunge, and I went in that cold plunge like every week, and then like the next fight, I went in it almost every day. And now like I'm just going every week now because I heard like stuff about it like stunts like muscle growth sometimes, but
Yeah, I
there's
heard
a
about that.
controversial stuff about it. But one thing it definitely helps with to just keep you going, because in the fight camp you just get so unbelievably sore some days that like an ice bath would just refresh you, and you're not going to be 100%, but you'll be like 30% better. And that's one thing that helps me keep going.
I think I actually heard one of the Ruotolo brothers saying that they don't like ice baths. Like
Yeah,
they like
yeah.
don't mess with the cold, which I'm surprised because they like surfing. They do a lot of surfing. That's kind of like
Mhm.
the other thing that they like to do. But yeah, we had a cold plunge at our gym, and I think it has to do with like the mental side of it too, just because how cold it is.
Sure.
Like when I saw it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to get in that thing, and it's like, telling yourself to do something and going through it. I feel like that's huge, especially in fighting when, you're tired maybe, or you don't feel like doing it, but the thing needs to get done. It's like hop in that cold plunge, that's
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of it too. That's another reason why I swear by it, because like that mental toughness that it builds, it's like having to put yourself through that and having to stay in there. It's like it's another level of mental toughness. And actually, it's funny that you brought that up, because during my brother's last fight in Thailand. Wait, no, my first fight in Thailand. They had a cold plunge inside of the hotel, and me and my brother were in the cold plunge, and Tye Ruotolo and Cade Ruotolo came in, and they're like talking to us. They're like, "Man, I don't know how you guys do those cold plunges." Talking
really,
about stuff. Yeah,
wow.
Interesting.
So you
Interesting.
so you guys had some interactions before too. So
yeah, yeah.
um, once you saw Cade enter the MMA realm, or you kind of already knew like it was probably destined to happen. Is that what you're kind of thinking?
Yeah, definitely. Because actually, my debut and his debut was on the same card on the same day.
Oh,
Oh,
So
really?
it's like
Okay.
definitely there was a whole bunch of talk already. They're like, these two guys line up in the future. And yeah, I've always kept my eye on Cade and Ty since then. And yeah, yeah, I think. Well, now I'm fighting one of them.
Well,
So
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. That's so crazy. That's so crazy, man. And like some of the videos I've seen online, it's like you don't really know anything else just because you've been training. Like, yeah, you play video games here and there, but you had to let that go. Is there any advice that you give to younger fighters out there trying to make a name for themselves? And like, is there anything that you would like wish someone told you when you were like up and coming, trying to get ready for a fight, the mental side, or any like drills you like swear by to improve?
Yeah, it's hard. There's only very few people who make it to the top in the MMA scene or even the pro scene, and it's like it's it's difficult to say because like even for me when I was a kid, at first I loved it, and then there was a time where I hated it. Like I did not want to train every day, and like I was sore. I hated training. I didn't want to train anymore. And then one day it just kind of clicked. I think it was after nationals where it's like, no, I hate losing, and like I'm gonna win. And then that's when I just started when I went to worlds and everything, and you kind of gotta be obsessed with it. It can't just be a leisurely thing. You think it's a hobby. If you're gonna get into the MMA game, you gotta go all in or not.
All in. I think that's some solid advice, just because like a lot of people are like, should I do this? Should I do it? Should I just to check it off the bucket list or something like that? But it just it's like it's a huge investment. It's like it takes everything. It takes the wits, it takes the physicality, the genetics. It's one of the craziest things that we have as a sport. Like it's crazy to even call it a sport. It feels way deeper than just throwing a ball or something like that. Yeah.
One of your interviews, you were talking about like training with different fighters, but you said you wouldn't mind training with Max Holloway. That would be pretty cool. That would be good content for your YouTube channel too, sure, man. So I'm just trying to manifest that, just get
let's get that.
Because
my brother has actually trained a lot with Max.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
For me, they trained together like a bit, like a few years ago, but I think I was like too young, or like I wasn't like my growth spurt yet. So, but yeah, I'd love to train with Max someday in the future, especially since he's still in the fight game, and maybe we'll link up or something.
He plays video games too, right?
He does.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can get a little gaming on, training. That'll be a dope episode for your channel.
I'd watch that for sure, bro.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like manifest it.
That's a great idea.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, but
growing up, was your family? I know, like, especially in martial arts, your family being competitive, but like in other things, say you guys are playing like Wii Sports or something. Like, are you guys like fighting over the controller in competitiveness, or is it just in martial arts, or are you guys just trying to get each other better?
I'd say like me and like my oldest sister were probably more of the more competitive ones with all that, but I don't know, we weren't like too like competitive with each other. I feel like it was more so like in the MMA space. Like for me, with me and Victoria, my sister, we would always be very competitive all the way up until like like teenage years. I remember like throwing full force and just like getting like suplexed. Like
wow.
I mean, I would like I still remember like even like with my brother, all the way up until like a few years ago, like getting dropped. But like always, like he's the nicest guy ever. But like some days he really put it on me. But it was good. It helped me grow because, I guarantee a lot of people are never gonna feel that in their lives, and it's just
never.
Yeah.
That's gotta be.
I was gonna ask you, man. You got a couple bonuses, man. Some nice ones. 50K.
50K
at 18, dude. At 18, like I only imagine like, I would be like, oh, I want to buy this Camaro or Corvette. I don't know. I would probably
get a
motorcycle. A lot of V-Bucks, a lot of robots. I heard you're like, I'm gonna buy some. What'd you say, pizza or something? I was like, oh, this guy's cool, man.
About like full pie.
Were you tempted to just be like, I'm gonna go all out on something, or do you have any like other little hobbies or like addictions? Like, I know like the Meow Brothers, they like shoes and stuff like that. Do you have anything like that? Clothing, Gucci?
I think one thing that like, I don't like kind of my hobby. I really like, photography and videography, and that's a very expensive hobby.
Oh,
and for me, I tried my best to just save as much money as you can because, the fight game, it's so unpredictable. So for me, like I was lucky enough, I got my own apartment, I moved out. And I just bought like some camera gear and like I'm set. Like now there's like nothing I really other want. Like I got like full frame camera and a good lens, a few good lenses.
There it is.
Good.
Nice. I actually saw
Smart
you
man.
like doing like a vlog. You had a DJI camera?
Yeah,
Is that
I
what you
do.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
DJI too.
I think we
Yeah.
all have a DJI,
got
and I
that.
mean we take that everywhere,
Legit.
bro.
It's legit.
It
Yeah.
is. I like it.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So I mean, the app is good too. The little the one you download. So
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that you like record the behind the scenes. Not a lot of people get to see what it's like, day in the life of a fighter. It's a lot harder than you think, bro. I was like, I was like, you know what? I'm a shadow box today. I'm gonna do like 5 minutes. I was looking like death sentence after 2 minutes, bro. I was like, oh my gosh, how do these guys do it? Like, it was crazy. Like I don't understand like the endurance, because like jiu-jitsu cardio is different from striking, and I'm sure wall wrestling, and when I was watching some of your fights, like I was very interested on just the ring, just because it's a circle. You can't really get put in the corners like you see in the UFC. Is there like wall wrestling things that you could use that in a 1FC cage that you can't do in like a UFC? I was kind of just wondering that before, because it's a circle, right? There's
Yeah,
like,
it
the angles
is.
are different.
It's like a circle, but there are still like those little posts, So it's not like a
Okay,
full
okay.
circle. It's still kind of like an octagon, but like more circular.
Mhm.
But I don't think there's much of a difference between the one cage and the UFC cage. But I think there is a difference between the one cage and the boxing ring that I'm going to be fighting next. Yeah.
Oh,
There are
I looked it
definitely-
up and I thought it said cage. So you're fighting in a ring this next one. I could be wrong. I just looked it up.
I'm pretty sure.
I would.
I would be pretty surprised if it's a cage, but because I'm fighting on a fight night, and I'm pretty sure that they're doing a boxing ring. So
Got it.
there's fighting also, that's another big thing. Fighting in a cage versus a ring is it's very different. There are a lot of things you have to adapt to and change.
It's like when Tye Ruotolo went against Chen, it was in the ring. And that's what I was curious about. I kind of just looked it out on ChatGPT. Could be wrong completely. That's even a better question, is to ask how the ring is different from the cage. Like, you guys could slip through, fall out of the ring, like that stuff could happen. I'm very curious on how that's going to play out.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot different with using the ropes versus using the cage, because with the ropes there's a lot of give, so you can like lean back over, or when you're getting taken down, you cannot use the ropes. You cannot really lean on it because there's the give, it bounces.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like your arms get stuck in things. Like they're taking you down. Your arm could get trapped. Or your leg could get trapped. Like even in my last fight, when I suplexed my opponent, his foot caught the rope. So then like I kind of landed on myself, and then I landed on top. But it's like, yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of things that's different fighting in a cage versus a ring. It's also harder to use. Like harder to use the ropes as opposed to the cage.
That's what I would think, man. And your speed is insane. Like I'm trying to think. That's why I was thinking of Pantoja, because he starts his fights off like boom, like he lets you know, like, yo, I'm here. Like it's like I really enjoy your style. It's super entertaining to watch. You go. You'll find your spots, and then it's like they have to deal with you, and it feels like your speed is something that all these guys have to look out for when it comes to fighting you. So, man, we're just very excited for this next match, bro. I think you're gonna shock a lot of people for sure.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got any predictions on how the fight's gonna go? Do you want to take this all the way to the decision? You trying to finish this quickly? What's your mentality on this, man?
For this fight, honestly, I could care less how I win. I'm just gonna win.
Just gonna get the dub.
Let's say first round finish. By either knockout, TKO, or submission.
Hey, man, I can't wait to see you fight, dude.
All your wins have been by submission. 2 rear naked chokes and an anaconda, I believe, right? And the anaconda was sick.
That was quick too.
And you had Herb Dean in reffing that fight. I'm like, bro, trying to get a TKO with Herb Dean is so hard to do, bro. You just
are you still alive? Yeah. He's like
that rear triangle that you had with the Kimura at the end of the round, dude. I thought, honestly, I'm like, no way this guy's gonna get it right before the round ends, bro. It was super slick, bro. But
Yeah,
the
thank you.
Ruotolos, they love the Darces, you know. They have long
Darce
arms.
Knights.
Yeah, the Darces is kind of their thing from what we've seen. And
Mhm.
you know, Ruotolo has good cardio too. Like you've seen that match with him and Marigali, like those guys went all the way to the end, you know. They don't give up. With Cade and Tye, like they train, their main training partners kind of similar to you and your brothers. Like they know each other, and I feel like that's also something that a lot of people don't really know. Is like you guys have to always reinvent yourselves to be able to figure out new moves, try to figure out ways to set things up with someone who knows you like the back of their hand, you know. So it's gonna be high level for sure, because you know, Ty, he has his twin brother doing the same exact thing. So we're gonna be shocked in how good this fight's gonna be, dude. It's gonna be fire for sure.
I definitely think, yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
I had a question when it came to anime, bro. Like, is there any recommendations that you have for anime? I know you like watching Solo Leveling and Ippo. Is there any other animes or anything you like in particular about Solo Leveling or Ippo that feel like they speaks to you in any way?
Uh, that's hard, man. I mean, I watch a lot of anime.
Really,
I,
a lot.
I used to
Okay,
do it in school. Like that's when I really
okay,
started getting on it. I was when I was a kid, I was a huge Pokemon fan. Yeah,
really,
I
okay.
was really into Pokemon, but yeah, I mean, I really like the OGs like Naruto and Bleach. Those two are definitely my top two.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
because I honestly I haven't
Naruto,
Bangers.
watched a ton, but like I always like asking people recommendations for shows and stuff, and I
yeah,
I just wanted to ask you that.
yeah.
So like, what if we're talking Naruto? Like, what village would you choose to be part of? Like, what? I kind of like have an idea, but clan.
Go like Naruto,
Yeah, you got to choose.
Hidden Leaf. I don't know.
And
Or
I
wait,
would say you be with the good
what's
guys, right?
The Uchiha clan?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Be a good guy. You're on the good side. You're on the
Yeah.
good side. That's cool. That's cool, man. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I just just seeing you out there, bro, like you do remind me a lot of Ippo, bro. Like just the story of the development of like someone who just like wants to be this fighter, and you're actually doing it. I just see like the resemblance in like the way you fight, the way you have like you fight with everything. Your heart, you don't give up. Well, now all the way to the end, you know. So I mean, that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up, just because I've been watching it as of late, and I'm like, this is awesome to be able to kind of ask you these types of questions. So it's just it's is there anything that you want to let the people know, not even just with the fight, but just as a person, anything that you want to talk about or anything like that?
uh, well, for when you're asking me about people who want to get into MMA, I'd
Mhm.
say only do it if you love it, because
Mm,
it's a real tough sport. So you got to be all in or all out.
for sure. And when you had that moment click for you, where do you remember the spot you were in? Do you remember like this is where I'm gonna put all my chips in? Because I feel like in life there's a few moments that you have where you're gonna make a decision. Do you remember where you were when that happened?
Yeah, honestly, it was my very first nationals that I went to. I got second, and I think that was really because like for me, I was always like, I won like all the Nagas and like big first nationals, and when I got second, that was when I was like, that was like really gut wrenching, and it was so crazy too because the guy I lost to in the finals, I beat him earlier in the tournament, but it was like kind of the way how it like worked. We ended up fighting again, and
What?
then that was like, I was like, nah, we're not doing this again.
Not again. And now you're
Again.
here, which is crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. That's that's an awesome moment, man.
Yeah, thank you.
This one's a fight September 5th, right?
5 weeks,
Is it?
right? Where is it
5 weeks
at?
out, man.
Thailand.
It's in Thailand.
In Thailand.
So you fought there. You fought there before, right? That was your first. Was that your debut
Yeah, my
match in
debut
Thailand?
was.
When it comes to traveling, like how does that work? Like when getting ready for a fight, like so you hear some fighters in the UFC getting like an Airbnb and staying out there for like a week or two, getting acclimated. I know you fought in Denver too, so like the height elevation was something to look out for. Like when it comes to like traveling, like are you one of those people who just like getting used to the area before a match? kind of like
Yeah,
visualizing everything?
usually like if there's not really anything different, like it's like Thailand or Japan, we just fly like a week out. Usually that's like the Thailand 1 week before the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But for Colorado fight, we did end up going like 2 or 3 weeks early to get acclimated to the elevation. We got an
Mm-hmm.
Airbnb and then we switched over to the hotel.
Nice.
That's actually smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really smart. Especially, I mean, your family is like kind of like, oh, you guys could kind of all brainstorm like, oh, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. Even like diet, like for some reason, like bean burritos work for you perfectly. So I might, I might start eating some bean burritos, bro. I might start like, start getting on the Adrian Lee diet. You know what I mean? Just
Hey, GSP was eating McDonald's, right?
true. It says it doesn't affect, well, maybe I don't know. You're young too, so you could probably
He's
eat
young.
anything.
You can eat anything. Yeah.
For sure. When it comes to like the nutrition and stuff, is there anything like staple foods that you just like eating, just staple and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, like for this fight, I got a nutritionist, so it's been making the diet a lot easier.
Oh,
I've been
wow.
like meal prepping every weekend, so usually like I don't know, this week is like chicken thighs. The week before I prepped chicken breasts, but I mean it's so dry. Like it's so hard. Like especially when you meal prep it, it's like I was like, yeah, I'm do chicken thighs.
Yeah. Nutritionist is definitely the move for sure. Especially if you just you don't even want to think about it. It's like another thing you just already have done. Use some of that 50K, your nutritionist, and be ready to go.
Yeah.
That's investing in yourself, man. And
Nah,
that's crucial.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about before wrapping it up.
Let me think for a little bit, man. What would you say your goals are for your YouTube channel? Like, is there anything like, like anything you want to like let the viewers know what you got cooking up if they haven't checked out your channel before?
For my YouTube channel, I'm trying my best to, it's hard, especially when I'm in camp. I was trying my best to like upload like pretty consistent content, but I'll definitely upload a video after my fight. But it's just hard like leading up to it. I like to stay pretty focused on the goal. Like I'm still like posting a little bit. Like I try to post like once a week still on my Instagram. But yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna be more active on my YouTube afterwards. One of my goals is just to hit like, for me, I was always like when I started on my social media was like to hit 100K on Instagram. Then I would kind of like chill out on the content, just so like I already like built like a pretty decent following for myself. Then I can like I chill out on the content.
Yeah. Do you edit yourself?
Yeah, I do all the filming and editing myself.
It's very time consuming.
What do you call one of my friends who's like does video work just helped me, and he made me a trailer for my upcoming fight, which I'll be releasing soon. Yeah.
I do want to make I want to make an edit
on YouTube and on my Instagram. I'll be uploading that.
Sick.
Yeah. All right, we look forward to that, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Let me know if you need an editor. I edited a bunch of videos, dude. I'll make a highlight tape and I'll send it to you. See if you like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude. I'm excited for your next fight. We'll see if Tye or anything, they post anything. We'll stay up to date, and just want to say thank you again, Adrian, for taking the time out of your day. I know fight camps, very stressful. Making sure everything's on point. But I'm sure you guys are gonna do great, and wishing you the best of luck for your next fight, man.
Yeah,
we wish you the best of luck, man.
For sure.
You got this. You already know, man. Can't wait for the fight. Thank you so much for getting on here, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for, getting me on here. It's great talking to you guys.
Thank you, man.
Show.
Thank you, Adrian. It's Beyond the Roll. Like, subscribe, and check out Adrian's channel down below in the description. Check him out. He's the future, the Phenom. You're going to hear a lot about him. Let's just say that.
Show.